This is a nursery lake on Farnham Angling Society's Yateley complex. Situated on Sandhurst Road, just outside Yateley in Hampshire, it's a gravel pit of around 7.5 acres in size, featuring a massive island, large and small, channels, gravel bars and snags. Another one of Farnham Angling Society's prestigious new acquisitions, the Fishery features an average depth of 4 feet, with shallow spots only inches in depth, right down to holes 10 feet deep. You've got about 100 carp present in the nursery. The stock roughly split 2/3 commons and the rest mirrors of various strains, up to a top weight of 36 plus for both commons and mirrors, with a good amount of 20 pound and 30 pound fish present too, alongside specimen bream and tench and good numbers of perch and roach too. The lakes remain somewhat of an unknown quantity in the past, but still holds a few surprises for those wishing to put in the effort. Walking across the bridge over the River Blackwater and turning right, make your way up the path until you reach the corner of the Point Bay on the Match Lake. Turning right up the path and making your way up to the river bank of the nursery lake, the first swim you'll come to is the duck boards. This one features quite a large expanse of open water in front, all around 4 foot deep, while it shallows up slightly in the margins. You can see 2 islands off to the right there with a gravel area in the channel in between. The next swim you'll come to is the Apple Tree Swim. This one's got several dot islands out in front with gravel seams in between joining up across the swim. It's around 4 foot in depth with a slightly deeper channel beyond the nearest islands. Next up is the one known as the Left Hand Open, which features several islands to the left with another row of islands out in front. You've got gravel seams continuing out across the swim with a depth of around 5 feet further out and 4 foot closer in. The open swim next door has also got a variety of depths from 3 feet, 20 yards out, picking up 5s and 6s further out right down to a 10 foot deep hole. Halfway out's always been a good producing area due to the large gravel feature running from left to right across the swim, which will pick up with a marker flow. Next is the Oak Swim, several dot islands off to the right and in front, with shallow gravel running in between them amongst an average depth of 4 feet. The area of channels are a mass of snaggy islands which are usually not fished for fish welfare reasons. Carrying on round the lake, the next swim you'll come to is the Bay Swim, a nice quiet spot where fish can be seen sunning themselves in the warmer months. Next up is the Boards. It's got a massive islands off to the left there and a large sunken island coming off the right hand side of the small dot island out in front. You've got a depth of around 2 feet on top of this sunken island and then 4 feet around it. A little bit shallower in the margins too in this one. To the right of that swim you'll find the Pipe Swim with deep water close in to the right down to around 8 or 9 feet. You've got another shallower sunken island coming off to the right hand side of the 2 snag bushes to the left there. The sunken island's about the same size as the one next door, but just a little bit further out. You'll then come to the Gap Swim, which is a good winter swim as it goes. Again, very close in, you've got 8 or 9 feet. You've also got a gravel feature off to the left there, as well as an inflow stream coming from the neighbouring Fishery. Moving round onto the newly opened Island Swim with deep water close in to the left, gravelly margins, and a nice view through the middle of the Fishery. You've got gravel seams coming up the lake towards the swim at various intervals. Carrying on up the bank between the nursery and the copse, you'll see the Lawn Swim on the left. This swim you've got around 5 to 6 feet average depth, with a nice margin up to the right and several islands out in front, with shallower margins surrounding them. Be warned that there's a fair amount of subsurface structure around these islands, all over the lake in fact, so as with the rest of the Fishery, strong tackle is advised. The Double's the next one you'll find coming along the bank separating the Match and Nursery lakes, with an average depth of 4 to 5 feet across the open water, which features out in the front of the swim, with a deeper area close in to the left and right. In the diving board you've got the margins around 4 to 5 feet deep, shallowing up as they get closer to the islands. got a large sunken gravel area off to the left there, just off that little dot island, about 2 to 3 feet deep on top of that, and gently sloping off into deeper water. After this one you've got the crossroads, again depth 4 to 5 feet, with a silty area off to the right there, around 40 yards out, shallowing up again close to the islands. The first nursery swim offers a good section of open water to the right, with a depth of 4 feet pretty much all over the swim. It's got silty channels between the islands to the left. Last but not least, you've got a swim known as the Brambles. Once again, 4 foot across the swim, with a lovely quiet reed fringed bay just off to the right.